Hello everyone, this is CJNovo992 and today we're back for another brand new video. And it's been a couple days but it's almost that time. Once again, the fear, the dread, the nerves and hopeful joy of the weekend is almost upon us as we face yet another game of football, another big game with the simplest of simple mottos, troops. Just win. And I think as we are tumbling towards the end of the season and questions will be answered over the next couple of weeks, we know why we're here, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have a look at tomorrow's dance partner, have a look at the challenge that St Mirren actually faces us, and then we're obviously going to pull it into the Rangers end where there's a couple key things that I want to talk about from the Rangers perspective that I would love to know your thoughts and opinions in down in the comment section below. And whilst we go ahead and do this, ladies and gentlemen, if you do find yourself enjoying the channel at any time, please consider hitting that like button. We are closing in on 30 weeks of hitting 1,000 likes a video. There's big channels with 100k, 200k that didn't get near that number. It's a ridiculous stat, ladies and gentlemen. I greatly appreciate seeing so many of you enjoying the content over this season. But we're here to talk about the football, so let's go ahead into it. And again, we'll start off with the opposition and have a look at St Mirren, who at my current time of recording sit 5th in the old SPFL, and that right there, if you offered them, they'd have bit your hand off, you know what I mean? You'd have been cutting about like Captain Hook for the rest of the old season if you were given that option. However, dare I say, the way that St Mirren has played at certain parts this season, the way they have looked, the points that they've picked up, I mean, remember, this was one of the few teams left in Scottish football, in fact, in Europe, that was unbeaten. We've seen all the stats. They were truly the last team standing unbeaten in the top flight of the SPFL. The fact that they're sitting just 5th might actually just nibble away and niggle away, and this season might be one of those ones for St Mirren where they think what ifs and maybes. That might sound ludicrous to actually say it loud, but if you give me the next couple of minutes of your time, you might just see that as we'll try to break down their stuttering form towards the end of the season, which again could halt what is a very good season. However, it really could have been great. And the reason I say that is since St Mirren has been beaten 2-0 versus Celtic in the Scottish Cup, getting knocked out the only other cup competition to play, they've played the last 8 matches with one focus and one goal in mind. The league table, solidifying their spot and trying to get as higher, punch higher, punch higher, punch higher, whilst other teams around them are played in quarterfinals and semi-finals. They should have had an advantage there. They have only had league football to play over the last 8 matches, and do you know how many wins they managed to muster in the business end of the season out of those 8, ladies and gentlemen? Well, I'll tell you, just 2 of the 8, and that is a real surprise given how dangerous this St Mirren side can actually be. Now, their 2 wins have been against Aberdeen, which is always appreciated right here on the channel, and St Johnstone, but even in that kind of tells you its own story, as they're both 2 sides that have struggled all season long. Domestically, that is all St Mirren has been able to overcome over the last 8 matches. Now, they've had some decent performances or patches in there, but they've had some disappointing draws. The likes of Motherwell and Ross County didn't go there, ladies and gentlemen. Losses to the likes of Hearts and Celtic you can understand given the weapons that they've got, but a perfect example of what I was talking about a minute and a half ago regarding it's been a very good season, but it could have been great. If you look at their other loss they've had during that run, they got beat off Livingston, ladies and gentlemen. Livingston Football Club this season, if you need a little reminder, has won just 3 games, including that win over St Mirren, meaning a third of Livingston's wins in the top flight of Scottish football this season has came against St Mirren, a side that has got dangerous players, that has won Manager of the Month, that was the last unbeaten side, that was doing this and was doing that. To see them petering out and almost punch themselves out towards the end of the season is why I said what I said a minute and a half ago. Did they just punch themselves out like they were Clubber Lang and Rocky Free? Maybe, ladies and gentlemen, but it is a sharp contrast, and they will be sitting looking at that, looking at themselves, sitting in 5th with Kilmarnock just 8 points in front of them, with that niggling little feeling in the back of their head that they could have even done better this season. And you know, I think the fact that St Mirren are currently playing like this, and it's a quick little Google, it's a quick little thing, has gave a lot of people very easy clickbait to fire out. St Mirren are slate-walking, Rangers are chasing a title. This is over before a whistle is even kicked. Have we not learned a lesson over the last 2 months, ladies and gentlemen? And it's never ever over before a whistle is actually blown. Troops, you actually have to go out there and do it, and I hope not a single Rangers player is allowing that idea to sink into their cerebellum, because we need them absolutely at it. Because the one thing you could say about the St Mirren side throwing form out of it is when they are on it, And when they are up for it, they have shown this season they can be a really, really dangerous side. And I think if you just look at them all season long, they've got 12 wins and 14 losses, right? And maybe you can look at that. How have they lost more than they've won yet they sit fifth? That's Scottish football for you, ladies and gentlemen. But what that tells me is that is a team that is all in either one way or the other. They're usually winning the game or they're losing it. They're not really the team that sits back and parts the bus and defends or anything like that. There's only 4 other teams in the top flight of Scottish football that's lost more than them. But again, it's the way they go forward, it's the way they commit, it's the way they're all in games of football. They're no parking the bus, they're no hanging on for dear life. They're all in one way or no, and you just hope it doesn't click for them, because when it does, again, they can hurt you, and I hope that's not going to be the case tomorrow. But that's all I really wanted to say. A lot of people saying it's already over for the whistle's done, it's an easy game, but don't be silly, ladies and gentlemen. The post-split now has happened. Dundee is breathing down their necks. The way that the Scottish Cup has actually went, and it's went into this position, 5th place in the league now gets European football, ladies and gentlemen, or could get European football. So there's a chance there for the likes of St Mirren to be in European football. So now they could be switching it back on. Maybe they'll wake up for their sleeping coma of the last 2 months with Dundee at their heels. But aye, that's all I wanted to say. A lot of people saying it's already done and it's a nothing game, and I probably should even make a preview video for it. No, every game is vital right now. They've got their own stuff to worry about, but so do we. And I think with that being said, that's reached the end of the St Mirren side. Now it's time to get to the Rangers end, because as we said right at the very start of today's video, it's very simple. Just win, ladies and gentlemen. That is all that is required. Now, I know there'll be a large parts of today's video, because I even felt it when I said the words. I knew in the back of my head, every game is a must-win when you play for Rangers. Every game has to be a win, and absolutely, but there is a sort of unwritten rule in Scottish football. In fact, in all leagues, I imagine you do get a couple of excuses. Oh, the goalie had a world day. Oh, somebody scored absolutely nowhere. We just had no luck and it was a bad day at the office. See the excuses you can fire out a couple times during the season. They've all been burnt up over the last 2 months versus sides that aren't good enough to reach the top 6. And now it's time to go ahead and play what on paper is the best teams left in the country, and every single game must end with a win. There's zero room for error, there's no mere mistakes, there's no mere excuses. It's putting your balls on the table and showing you've got a wee bit of something. It is truly do or die for these Rangers players, not only for this season, but for their careers, for their legacies. And if that can't get this team motivated out of the slump we've seen in league form in terms of Dundee, Ross County and Motherwell, I don't know what actually will, ladies and gentlemen, because that would get me going. And honestly, every meeting, every conversation, I'd be putting those results up and I'd be showing them the results, because the mess that they've put themselves in is completely self-inflicted, ladies and gentlemen. And all the frustration, the anger, the disappointment they've put all of us through is done to themselves. But you know what the best thing about it, ladies and gentlemen, is? They've done that to themselves. They have the opportunity in the front of them to get themselves out of that hole, to fight on and make it up to not only us, but to themselves, because they've done so much hard work to graft and graft and graft to put them in to a position to instantly throw it away would damn be cruel. Or again, it's on them. We can't do on everyone and anyone. We need the fans to do it. No, we didn't. It all starts with on the park. They do their jobs, the fans will do theirs. That's the way it's got to be. And aye, well, I guess we'll find out this weekend if they've got anything remotely left. Do they believe? Do they think they can do it? The game versus St Mirren is the start, and it'll tell us. Because believe it or not, despite Hearts being a better side than St Mirren, I think this will tell us more about our team than we did in the Cup. Because a Cup game, semi-final, Hearts, the way they play about the business, that seems to suit Rangers, because they are so on, because they are so attacking, because they can't sit back and frustrate and force Rangers to try and be creative. Because Hearts have so many attacking weapons, there's gaps there, and we pick holes in them. We just match up. There's just sometimes teams like that. But St Mirren, what they can do, frustrate, hit the long ball, hit the counter, is exactly what Motherwell, Ross County and Dundee did to us and tore us to absolute shreds. So we're going to learn a hell of a lot for this weekend. It's no a dead rubber or an easy win or anything like that. No, this is the start, ladies and gentlemen, of what could be a fantastic end to the season. Or on the flip side, it could really tell us if we slump in and limp over the line or fail to get it, it'll be the final nail in this season's coffin. But moving away from the actual game itself and talking about the players and everything, I imagine the big conversation is going to be what do you do with Leon Balogun as he came back into the starting 11 and just showed levels to the game. You know what I mean? His first meaningful minutes for 6 weeks, sitting on the bench, being ill, being this, doing that, comes onto the park in a semi-final pressurised situation into a defence that's an absolute mess, getting torn to shreds by guys that's getting paid a packet of quavers a week, and instantly solidifies it and stands out above every single centre back on the actual park and reminds us and the other centre backs what a centre back is supposed to look like and what a centre back is supposed to do, and that is be physical, be non-compromising, and make sure you shut down whoever the striker actually was, because it wasn't just a guy, it was the guy in terms of Scottish football, in terms of putting the ball into the back of net, as we were up against the best goal scorer in Scotland, and Balogun put him in handcuffs. For me, ladies and gentlemen, he doesn't leave the starting 11 to the end of the season. Truly, it's got to be that way. I know he's 35, I know this, I know this, I know everyone's favourite's John Souttar, and John Souttar's got to play right centre, but that's going to make it better. No, it won't, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, I'd actually maybe say something very controversial here that's probably going to annoy everyone. I'll give you a second. I would play Goldson and Balogun. That's right. And now, before you shout me in the comment section below, I'm going to tell you why I actually say that. I'm going to keep it simple, and that it's the partnership. It's the partnership of both. Our best fit partnership right now at this football club in terms of playing and everything like that is Balogun and Goldson. They've proven that over years. I've never liked Souttar and Goldson playing with each other. You know that even during the 3-month winning run that we actually had, what did I keep saying and kept criticising? I didn't like the way it actually looked. Both of them want to do the exact same thing. Both of them are the same type of players, and it was just too easy to actually get by them. The best partnerships complement each other, and I think Balogun complements Goldson, and I think Goldson complements Balogun, and that's nothing against John Souttar. Again, I just didn't really like the John Souttar-Balogun partnership. I think Tavernier bailed us out for losing one, at least one, versus Hearts in the weekend there, as Souttar has his usual 10 minutes, and I just feel like now it's nippy bum time, now it's title time. We can't afford the Souttar o'clock. We can't afford that 10 minutes. And again, people saying Goldson's been just as bad. Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen, he has been just as bad. Let's agree on that. However, the best partnership is Goldson and Balogun, and I just feel like at this point of the season that could provide the little bit of a difference. And I didn't think I'm being harsh on Souttar, saying, oh, it was just because he had 10 minutes where he was poor versus Hearts. No, if we want to go back through the games, we can, but I didn't see the actual point. All I will say, ladies and gentlemen, is we were a Jack Butland wonder save at Rugby Park away for bottling the lead at the top of the league a month before, because Souttar phoned in doing, unfortunately, what he does. We can't afford any of that right now. If we want to win trophies, we want to win titles, we need to score goals, we need to fix his goal difference, and we need to keep that back door shut. And statistically and historically, what does that? It's Goldson and Balogun. But I'm saying that as if that's ever going to happen. I feel like it will just still be John Souttar and Balogun, but it would be nice to see Balogun be put on his better side, his left centre-back side, Goldson gets in, but I didn't imagine it will happen. I think it will be John Souttar and Balogun once again, and if both of them are selected, I will be cheering them on and shouting on every single ball, because as soon as the whistle goes, it's all about the team. That's what I love, ladies and gentlemen. Individuals come and go. The team is what I support and I've followed since a wee boy. So if John Souttar goes and has a man of the match performance and scores a goal, I'll cheer it and I'll sing and I'll be absolutely buzzing. I'll not be announcing me, but like, oh, I said this, but I didn't care. The team cares. I just think, as a fan, what we do here is talking. I'd go with a partnership. Bye. You can shout at me in the comment section below. I feel it. So I'm going to move on to another talking point, ladies and gentlemen, and that is Ridvan Yilmaz. Because the guy that was 50-50 22 days ago and is back in training next week. What are we actually doing at this football club? Are we just having our injured players running the total wipeout gauntlet? Just running and jumping the red balls or something like that? How can 50-50 22 days ago equal a player nearly a month later just getting back into training? It is driving me mental, and it's a shame, because him, when we were cooking and we were looking at our best, it was him running the show down the left. You might not like that, you might not like the player, but our best football came this season with Ridvan at left back. There's no argument in that. The stats go ahead and show it. But unfortunately, we're missing him still. Jacko's back next week as well. Matundo's a doubt for the game. Seema's out. Of course it is, ladies and gentlemen. We get one win and we have to sacrifice 4 actual players. It's cruel. But that is what it is, supporting this football club. So I think the rest of the team really picks itself. Sterling again back in at left back, and that means demanding Lunny in the middle of the park. The front three would probably just be the usual. It'll be Dessers, it'll be Silva, I imagine, and you're looking at the right hand side. Does Ross McCausland come back into the game? Scotty Wright come back. I'm not getting into it. Ross McCausland on the right. It's an interesting one right there, ladies and gentlemen. But the one decision that I want to see made is Todd Cantwell solidified as the number 10. I didn't want him sacrificed outright. I want him as our number 10 because it showed at Hearts he can be the difference maker. And if we give him enough time on the park to allow his creativity to really strangle and tire out the defence late in a game, he can create a second goal like he did versus Hearts and make sure we win a game of football. So for me, that's the position that right there. Todd Cantwell is a must in my personal opinion. But that's truly it. And that's my thoughts and opinions on the game. It's not a dead rubber or over or St Mirren sleepwalking. It's dangerous this weekend. And Rangers really need to be up for it. What about you? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down there in the old comment section below. I'm going to go with Rangers 2, St Mirren 0. I'm going to back the clean sheet, whether Suter and Balogun start or no. I'm going to back the clean sheet. Hopefully we actually see it. But that is my thoughts and opinions. Dessers to be the difference once again. What about you? As always, I'll be TJ92. I'll see you after the game. All the best and bye-bye.